Banks are, it's sort of a topic that's sort of like, it's the adult world. You don't have to think as a young person about banks, and you always have that feeling when you go into banks. It's all scary because it's all these people talking about money and checks, and they're asking for numbers and cards and addresses and all these sort of things, and it can be quite nerve-wracking almost, I feel anyway, going in, because they're all sort of, it doesn't really feel that friendly because it's all sort of clinical, and it's all sort of, it doesn't even look friendly, like, and you've all got these horrible seats that you're sitting in, and then the people are all sort of like, they have to be nice to you, is what I feel like when I go in. I feel like it's their job to try and make you feel good, but because they're trying too hard, it sort of pushes you away in a sense. But when I went to get my student account, I was already with one of the banks, and I was first of all thinking, oh, I should just go with them because it'll be easier, they can just shift everything and I won't have to worry about all these papers or anything like that I have to fill in. But it turned out that that particular bank didn't have what I wanted. I wanted the big overdraft and all the rest like that in case I did get into any trouble. But there was a lot of temptation from other banks where they say, oh, we'll give you this £100, or we'll give you this iTunes vouchers or something like that, just to try and get you enticed and go into them. And then when you look at it, it's actually really not a good account. It's like maybe it's only got like a £200 overdraft, and once you're over that, then you get charged ridiculous or something like that. So it is kind of hard. But then when I did finally choose the one that I wanted to go into, the person was nice enough, but yeah, it just sort of feels a bit nerve-wracking going in and talking about all this money, and you sort of feel like, even though they probably are giving you the whole picture, you sometimes feel like they're maybe not, because you don't know enough about it yourself to be able to say whether or not they're telling you everything that's right. So yeah, it can be kind of nerve-wracking going into banks. Okay, so I guess when you come to uni, the first thing you think of is the going out and the spending of money. But then there's all these things when you get told about it before you go to uni, how to manage your money and things like that at school, and they're always talking about like overdrafts and things like that. And I've got an overdraft where it's I think it's £500 with like 0% something or other, whatever that is, and then once you go over that, you just get fined and charged like ridiculous high percentages, and it's horrible if you go over that. So I mean, I guess you see that £500 and you think, oh, I don't have to worry about it. But then because you're thinking you don't have to worry about it, you can get into it so easily. And I have been in that overdraft and then been thinking, right, I need to get this sorted out and get back out of there, because once you're in there, then you'll start thinking, oh, there's another £200 before I'm even close to that £500. I can spend a little more. And then you soon realise something comes up, you have to buy some books for uni, or you have to pay a bit extra on your rent or something like that, and then suddenly you're over your overdraft and you get charged like a stupid amount, and then it just makes the whole situation a lot worse. Okay, so basically I do most of my banking online. I find it's because you can do it just like you can do it in your room. It's a lot easier. You don't have to go down to the bank where like I've said before, the atmosphere is just not that great anyway. I find like I don't really have too many problems about security and things like that. I'm not too worried about that, because I mean, I don't think they would first of all have the option to have online banking if the security wasn't good enough. And I've like my dad does it as well, and that he's basically told me to get on and do it because it's easier that way, and you can like ship money across the internet, and it's really quite strange how it does it, but because being of my generation, it's just sort of the norm, it's like accepted. So I mean, I guess maybe if you were doing online banking for, I don't know, if you were older or something, you would think there was a lot of safety issues, but I don't think there is many safety issues. But when it comes to sorting a problem, if you have a problem with your online bank account, it is
just horrible trying to sort it out over the internet or anything like that, because you have to go through all these different topics, and each topic is like more vaguer than the last, and you don't really know what your problem is compared to all these options. And because you're defined like to these options, you have to pick one, and it's inevitably the wrong one, and it's just too confusing. So I guess it would be better then to have like a person-to-person sort of thing where you could go in and discuss it and things like that. So I guess my banking is sort of like possibly a bit of both then, which is probably the best of both worlds, really.
I do not use online banking or phone banking because I do not trust the system, as you don't know like who can be tracing it or who can hack into it or anything.